And you know what? We talk about the excitement. There's a trio of highly decorated athletes here today competing in the professional field. And we're talking about the Kenyan women, starting with Sharon Lokedi.
Absolutely. Sharon is one of our favorites here in New York. She always shows up with a smile. She was the 2025 NYC half champion, coming in with an astonishing event record. Going up against her is the newest pilot on the team, apparently, Hellen Obiri, who ran a 1:07.21 here, and she is the TCS and New York City Marathon champion.
And then Agnes Ngetic, I am so excited to see her run a half marathon here in the U.S. She is coming off of just winning her first World Championships at the World Cross Country Championships in Fayetteville. So in Florida. And let me get my words out today, in Florida. So she's been here in America. She loves to race here.
Those are three of the many big names we're keeping an eye on here today. Time to welcome now the fourth member of our broadcast team. She's here at the finish line, and it's Sam Ryan. Hi, Sam.
Hey, Ryan, what an impressive pro field we have today. An impressive American women field as well. As we take a look at them, they are well represented here. Let's start with Emily Sisson. She is the American record holder in the marathon and racing today out there this morning. Also joining her is Susanna Sullivan. Now, Susanna, she finished 4th overall in the World Championships just last fall. You see her there in the middle. Oh, and by the way, she happens to be a full-time middle school math teacher back home in Virginia when she is not running. Dakota Popane here as well, representing the American women. She finished the first American finisher at the Paris Olympics 2 years ago. So we will be keeping an eye on all three of these impressive ladies this morning here at the United Airlines NYC Half. Guys, back to you.
A big morning ahead, Sam. Thank you. And a reminder to download the free all-new New Yorker Runners app so you can track your favorite runners, stay updated as this race unfolds. And we are awaiting now the start of the women's race. And we talked about some of the ladies to keep an eye on here today. What's going through their mind, ladies, as they're getting set to take the streets of New York?
Oh, they're really excited. Everyone that I've talked to before the race, just, you know, what do you want to think about before this race goes off? What is the goal? And they were just all saying how excited they were to race here. The fields that New York Roadrunners has put together here is phenomenal. So this right here, we're looking at Agnes Ngetic. This is exactly how she races back. She likes to be up front. We just saw her, as I said, in Tallahassee, Florida, where she won the World Cross Country Championships. She led from start to finish, winning in the biggest margin there too. So awesome, awesome runner that we get to see today.
Absolutely brilliant. You can see you got Hellen Obiri in there coming in with the knowledge as well.
And don't forget to download the New Yorker Runners app to keep an eye on all of today's events as they unfold. You can also stream it live on abc7ny.com. Back here with a live look at the women's professional field. A healthy group here in front, ladies.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Agnes Ngetic, as we said, up front. Hellen Obiri, the woman that has won here in the half marathon, but also over 26.2. Diane Van Ness, who is coming back as one of our top returners. And then our defending champion right there off the back of this pack. But look at how hard Agnes Ngetic is pushing around these turns and really in the early stages of the race.
She really is. You can see the focus in her eyes. She's keeping it super tight on those corners, meaning she is locked in to her race right now. The hills ahead of her. This is her first time actually running here in New York. So this is all brand new pathway, roadway to Agnes, and I'm really interested to see how she is going to be tackling the ups and downs of this incredible course when she has somebody with such experience and knowledge as Hellen Obiri right on her heels.
One of the things, Ryan, I was wondering was how is Agnes Ngetic going to handle the cold? She did run in Florida just a couple months ago, or in January, and you know, just thinking that this is a cool morning. It's pretty nice. The wind isn't quite as bad as yesterday, but she doesn't have any sleeves. She doesn't have any gloves on, and Hellen Obiri does, who's coming from Colorado, who trains there in the cold. So that might, you know, just gonna watch that a little bit.
And you talk about Agnes Ngetic. She's the second fastest woman in history over the half marathon distance, 13.1 miles. Here's what she had to say about racing here in New York for the very first time.
you know, race is a race. You know, I can't predict how it will be, but then we will be there fighting. You know, everyone maybe wants to win, but then for me, I don't want to put a lot of pressure on myself. I'll be just there to run my race and enjoy the race, you know, enjoy the city of New York City, and then we will see what it comes.
Bex, you've ran more than 20 marathons. When you're running a course for the very first time, is it that big of a disadvantage when you're talking about women who have run this course before?
I think it's very different to read the course off paper as having it in your legs. You know when to expect these turns, these tight turns, as you just saw there. Agnes took that very, very tight. And you have the experience of knowing when you can push and when you can hold back just that little bit more. This course is undulating. It is rolling pretty much all the way from Prospect Park to Central Park. So you have to know how to handle each and every hill that you're going to come across. Not just the ups, Ryan, the downs too, because it's those downhills that are going to take it out of the legs for most people. But I think, you know, that Agnes is a highly experienced runner, full stop. So she will definitely have trained in this sort of elevation. She will have trained in understanding how she is going to take it on, I would say.
You know, in the 18 times this race has been run, Kenyan men have won it 10 times, while the Kenyan women, they've won 9 times here in New York. And just last month, a group of New Yorker Runners employees traveled to Kenya to learn more about the runners who have had so much success here on the roads of New York.
We are in Eldoret, Kenya, and this is the first ever official New York Roadrunners trip to the nation of Kenya. We have such a great history of Kenyan athletes coming and succeeding in New York, but for us to come to their home, it means a lot to them. We can really see how much it means to these athletes, their coaches, their families.
The week that we've been on this trip in Kenya has been nonstop learning. Every moment, from looking out of the car window to meeting children on the street.
We were inspired to come here in large part by an organization called Tear Up's Angels, which was founded in 2021 after the tragic death of a runner named Agnes Tirop. Gender-based violence is something that so many women here in Kenya face, including some professional runners. There's a really successful and incredible current runner named Viola Cheptu who is working to lead this organization and try to make a difference in the lives of Kenyan women. So we came to listen to Viola and her team to learn how we at New York Roadrunners could help them achieve this really important mission.
As Tear Up Angels, when we started this organization after the death of my friend Agnes Tirop, we've realized how big of a problem it is. And so we realized that we need partners to come on board to support this work because we can't do it alone. It's important that we join this conversation together and act together because we cannot just talk. Let's join the conversation, learn, and then transfer that conversation into action.
The work that Viola and her partners are doing, they are absolutely tireless in their efforts to end gender-based violence. And we are so grateful to be here in Kenya supporting and helping to learn from them and find a way to support and shine a light on the very important work that they're doing in this community.
Well, as we're watching here, Agnes Ngeretch still trying to push hard in the early miles. Hellen Obiri right there, but what an awesome opportunity for New York Roadrunners to get over there. I know Sharon Lochetti, who's in fourth there, had actually a lot of the members of the New York Roadrunners stay right in her own home, and everyone knows her mom over here. It's so fun.
They actually did a live podcast recording from her home as well, which was super, super wonderful and incredibly, incredibly welcoming. Just having that whole team head over there to understand exactly what work is being done and bringing more awareness to all of the domestic abuse that can happen and to support the athletes is absolutely wonderful to see.
Yeah,
It was such an important trip for so many of our friends at the New York Road Runners, and so cool they had a chance to go over there and experience all of that firsthand. 4:47 first mile. What do we think of the pacing here so far?
Yeah, 4:47. They are running fast. You can see now they're starting to climb a little bit, so that's going to slow down just a little. But yeah, we still have this nice pack of 5 here up in the women's lead group. But one woman we haven't mentioned is Fentaye Belena. She is coming off of running really well at the Houston half. She ran 1:04.49. She's the third fastest PR over the half marathon distance in this field today.
Absolutely, Kerry. They are looking at around 112 feet of elevation as they run through the first 5 kilometers of this race, which is pretty astonishing to see it in those first few miles. The legs are really going to get warm very quickly, so a 4:47 pace is strong.
Well, last year we had Callie Hauger-Thackeray. She was the one leading this race early on. Not up here now, 17 weeks pregnant.
You're looking live at the professional women's wheelchair race, the professional men's wheelchair race, and the professional women. We're still awaiting the start of the professional men's race here at the United Airlines NYC half. One of the other cool aspects of this race today is the kids race, and it takes place in Times Square, and that is where we find the 5th member of our broadcast team, Brittany Bell. Good morning, Brittany.
Good morning, Ryan, and good morning, everyone. So, yes, we were in Times Square near mile 11, also near the start of the kids' race. And this is one of the reasons why this is the best half marathon in the country, because this location by itself is iconic. Times Square is only closed to traffic 2 times of the year. One as we bring in the new year, and today for the half marathon. But this is also the location of the kids' race, which involves about 1,500 young athletes. And I've been covering this event for the past couple of years, and it's just so cool to see all different types of kids. Some kids who run track and field and cross country, and others who are just trying to get more active. And it's for the older kids. It's 2 to 18, and for the older kids, they run a mile. It's an easy route. You just run out and then back, so you can't get lost. And it's just a great opportunity for the kids to get active. A lot of these are participants from the Rising New York Road Runners program, a program that is the aim is to get more kids active and also just to get them outside and build confidence. And you can see just their confidence when they cross the finish line here at the kids run. Ryan?
And so cool, they get to run through an empty Times Square, and that is one of 20 free youth events put on by the New York Road Runners throughout the year. Such a great event. So as we're looking at the professional women making their way through the 13.1 mile course, this is a live look at Prospect Park where the professional men are about to get underway. And ladies, who we keep an eye on for today?
Oh my goodness, so many of them. I mean, there's like 5 or 6 guys I could tell you, but Abel Kipchumba, like I said, going after history, that's something that he loves to do. 3 times could be what is next to his name after this race.
For supporting this event. This event is a massive
Bex, what's going through their mind right now as they're getting ready to take the course here?
I would say they are all absolutely raring to go. They want that countdown clock to go, and they want to get their legs moving. It is time for them to tackle those hills, chase down the women, and see what they can do today. I would say we have, as Carrie said, we've got a few contenders here today for a pretty exciting race. I think we are all incredibly stoked to see one of our favorite American men, Grant Fisher, leaving the track for this race and taking his debut onto road racing. It's going to be super interesting to see how he runs, Carrie. Understanding the difference between a track and the road is huge.
Well, you know, we talk a lot about it in New York, whether it's the marathon or the half marathon here. Being a really good cross-country runner gives you a lot of confidence coming into a city like this with lots of turns, ups and downs, potholes, all the things that you need as a good cross-country runner. And Grant Fisher was second in the NCAAs. He was a national champion in high school. He's very good on the cross-country courses, so we're going to see what he does on the streets.
And this is, we look at the temperatures, 36 degrees. These are ideal conditions for these runners here this morning.
It's really nice. Yeah, actually, it's going to be a great day out there, I think.
It sure is. I'm interested to see what some of the unknowns do, though. We've got a few here to see today.
More than 30,000 runners taken to the streets here of New York City. You can watch it live over on abc7ny.com. How do you balance the adrenaline of starting the race and wanting to get off to a good start, but also knowing that you have 13 miles to run and you don't want to burn your tank too soon, I guess
It's
you
a
could
really
say.
good question. I mean,
Training.
you know, yeah, training, but also I think visualizing, just knowing to calm your brain, calm yourself. This is an exciting city to be in, and there's always hype. So you have to remember to stay within yourself. Right now, we're looking at Patrick Kiprop, one of the newest professional runners that we have in America here racing. He ran for Arkansas and now is running with Joe Klecker in Colorado with Dathan Ritzenheim, who knows this course, knows everything about New York. So those two training partners are right there together.
You can absolutely see, you can see them. They are step for step, stride by stride, probably having a good chat about what they're going to achieve today.
We've talked about so many impressive storylines in this race. How about two different men are going for a three-peat here today? Jert Schipper of the Netherlands won the men's wheelchair title in 24 and 25, and Abel Kipchumba of Kenya was the men's professional winner the last 2 years. How about the top Americans here today we're keeping an eye on? Alex Mayer among them, Carrie and Bex.
Yeah, I mean, Alex Mayer is coming off of a great Houston half, ran the second fastest half marathon in the U.S. history. Joe Reichel, that's one of your faves. You just had him on your podcast.
Big fan. Yep, he was top American, finishing 6th here at the 2025 TCS New York City Marathon. So stoked to see what he can do after his personal best of a 1:02:30.
And Grant Fisher, we've talked about him already. Right now, he's in the middle of the pack. We can't even really, you can kind of see him off to the back. And that's exactly what he wants to do today. Sit, relax, and let the race come to him, and then win.
Fisher making his road racing debut. He's won 2 Olympic medals on the track, holds 2 indoor track records, and for years, U.S. distance running fans have been talking about what could he do over a 13.1-mile course. Well, this morning, we get to find out, and Grant now, on why he decided to run here today.
Scheduling was a huge consideration. This race falls right in between my indoor and outdoor track seasons, so I didn't have to kind of give up one of those to do a road race. Another is that it's based in the U.S., so I didn't have to travel very far. And another is that I've always wanted to do a half. It's a big part of the sport that I've never experienced. The track is fantastic, but the roads just has a different feel, a different allure, and I want to see if I'm any good at it. And this one is prestigious, it's hard, it's competitive, and I wanted all those things for my first one. I wanted a real test. It'll be a feeling that I get afterwards of, was I competitive out there, and do I see a future in this, or do I need to stick to the track a little longer? There's a lot of really, really good track athletes out there that have tried to transition to the roads, and it hasn't gone as well, and somewhere it's gone really, really well. So I want to see what category I fit into, and it'll honestly be a conversation of the feelings I get in the race and feeling that there's more in the tank and more to explore.
How much out of his comfort zone is he taking here today by going from the track to the streets?
There's a lot of learning to be had, taking it from the track to the streets. Carrie, we were just talking about this earlier, having to learn running tangents, having to understand the difference of pacing out here. As you said, potholes.
Yeah.
There are different sharp turns. Obviously, you have the monotony of a track. You get to know the turns after one loop. Here, each turn is on a different angle, and he's going to have to understand exactly how that's going to affect his pace, and it's going to affect his muscles as he runs through this 13.1 miles.
Yeah, he came here to run some really fast indoor races, got pretty sick indoors. So he said his buildup has been a little bit different. About 4 solid weeks, though, he's had since he got really sick. And, you know, this guy is so talented, Ryan. One of the best, if not the best we've seen in America. So I know a lot of eyes, a lot of pressure on him, but he loves that. He fuels off of that.
Well, you talk about talent. He studied electrical engineering at Stanford, then got his master's in management science and engineering. So, yeah, if this whole running thing doesn't work out, I think he's going to be just fine.
He's so brilliant. He's methodical about everything in life, and I'm just pumped to see him out here racing.
All 4 races underway. 13.1 mile journey that begins in Prospect Park in Brooklyn. And Bex, as you pointed out, a lot of challenges to this course here today.
Absolutely. So they're going to be taking over 100 feet of elevation in that first 5 kilometers, which is absolutely huge. Winding their way around a beautiful park. There is going to be a lot of fun to be had as they pass through mile 3 and head down to Flatbush Avenue. That's when the anticipation of that bridge comes in. Second year, we are taking it over the Brooklyn Bridge and sweeping down onto 3 and a bit miles along the 9.4 miles of the FDR, taking in the East River views. Then every runner is going to turn right onto the 42nd Street, and they're going to see, as you said, iconic landmarks such as Grand Central Terminal. Then they're going to head north. They're going to go up 7th Avenue, through Times Square, and into Central Park for some lovely rolling hills to take us to the finish line.
I have a feeling they're not saying they're lovely hills by the time they get to the 13-mile marker. Back to the men's wheelchair race.
I know I'm not supposed to cheer, but I just have to say,
you're allowed to cheer.
Everyone is so excited to see Daniel Romanchuk back. He is just the kindest guy. He works so hard. And, you know, speaking of Grant Fisher being methodical, this guy is too. He puts everything, his heart and soul into this. I think his sister's racing today. He always got to bring someone with him.
Family affair this weekend.
He loves coming to New York. And no one wants to see anyone injured, right? But that was kind of a fluke incident when he got hurt in Sydney. There was a fan that came out, stepped in front of him, and he tipped over and got pretty injured. So, you know, we were sad to see that he couldn't race here in New York over the marathon, but he's back and he's crushing it.
And he was talking about, you know, he'd been training by himself the last almost 7 months, and now he's back in competitive racing. So we were interested to see how he was going to handle that here today. Back now to the women's course. Making their way up the FDR.
We have, I believe, Eden Rainbow Cooper right now coming in. She went through the 10K with a lead of more than 1 minute over second place of Tatiana McFadden. Just amazing to see Eden really taking the lead here, quite literally.
Well, you know, she won Boston in 2024, and that was her first major. She is only 24 years old. She is kind of like a Daniel Romanchuk who came onto the scene early on and just has been consistent in second, third, fourth, these types of positions. And she was 4th here last year. Excuse me, she was 3rd here in 2024 in the half marathon. So, you know, she knows this course. She wants to come here and win. And actually, talking to Amanda McGrory, we all know the famous Amanda McGrory, who is a great wheelchair athlete. She does the commentary for the marathon. She said she's her pick. So a lot of eyes on Eden Rainbow Cooper.
As for the professional women's race, a group of 4 here leading the pack as we speak.
Exactly. The pack has stayed pretty strong and very familiar since the beginning. They went through 5K in an astonishing 15 minutes and 15 seconds. That's an average of 4:55 per mile, my friends. And as I said, that's some tough hills through Prospect Park. So these women really have understood the assignment today, taken on board exactly what they had to do in Prospect Park, and now they're heading out up to the bridge.
The 2 Kenyans, Agnes Ngetich, Hellen Obiri, leading the way on the women's side. As for the men, a rather large grouping here at the start, ladies.
Ooh, this is exciting. So Patrick Kiprop really new, like I said, to the professional world of racing. He is such a stud, but it seems like the further he goes, the better he is. And then Zouhir Talbi right there in second.
My pick.
Yes,
my guy.
I mean, he was second here 2 years ago, but this is such an interesting story always when he comes and races here. He's in the middle of Ramadan, so he is fasting during the day until sundown, and then he has his time to eat and fuel and do all that. So just such an interesting story, but his wife is racing. He's got a new baby. She's, I think, 10 months old. Like, just so much fun happening for Zouhir, and he's running so well right now, coming off of winning the Houston Marathon.
4:27 mile 1 for the men, 4:43 mile 2. The women making their way here to the finish line in Central Park on the bridge, and you get a better idea how that group of 4 has kind of separated itself from the rest of the pack.
Yeah, one thing I think that I'm making note of with these ladies is we have the two on the left side in the purple kits, and then the two on the right side in the greenish kits. Both different kits, but they're greenish. But the two marathoners are on the right, and they're getting ready for Boston, and then Hellen Obiri is getting ready for London. And so those two are in a different type of training mode. And then you have the two on the left who are coming from World Cross and the half marathon in Houston, who Belena is definitely somebody we have to keep an eye on, and she's the one in the orange sleeves. So just a really interesting dynamic going on right now in the top four.
Absolutely. Second year that this route has taken the Brooklyn Bridge instead of the Manhattan Bridge. 1.1 miles of going over. 130 foot is about the elevation gain that they are going to experience here. So yeah, they're absolutely working. It is a long slog to get up this. I run this very, very often, granted not on the road, but it is a long bridge. You can just see it, especially coming off a Flatbush extension. That is an elevation gain all the way as well. So you just feel like you're looking upwards for a very long time on this course. So I would imagine when they get to the top of the bridge today, they're going to feel somewhat of a relief to know that they're going to take that lovely downhill, sweep themselves around, and head onto the flat of the FDR.
Beck, she talked about Agnes Negedic and wondering how she was going to handle the cold temperatures here today. When you're 24 minutes into the race, is that still a factor, or is she already past that point?
I would think she's fully warmed up by now, especially with the amount of undulation the course has seen today. I would think that she is definitely in her stride and feeling the warmth surging through her body. It warms up quite quickly, even though it is 36 degrees. That feels very cold standing still. But when you're moving, and moving at the paces that these women are moving at, there's going to be the blood pumping, and they're going to be feeling it very nicely. You said right, there's no wind today. Yesterday was a very windy day, and there is pretty much no wind today. So they are not going to be coming off any corners and facing into a strong New York headwind, which is, for people who run in New York, something that we battle with on the regular basis. So the FDR could be a really nice cruise for them, and then that might be the only time you may cool down ever so slightly, because you're not battling with that uphill push and challenge that they have been.
Oh, there we are. The men still a huge pack right there.
Huge pack working together. Very, very strong there. You can see them, they've all sort of congregated in together. I'm just searching. You can see Joe Klecker right there. You can see Zouhir.
There
is Grant. Okay, right on Patrick's shoulder. Taking in the pace maybe from Patrick ever so slightly, but it looks like the guys are working together as they are cruising just past the 3-mile marker there.
We talk about some of the fun highlights of the United Airlines NYC half. Times Square closed for just the second time during the year for this race, and the fact that they get to run over the Brooklyn Bridge. Very cool when you talk about two iconic landmarks here in New York City.
Very cool. I'm sure these professional men, professional women are not that bothered at all about looking left to see the Statue of Liberty.
No.
But I know
so cool.
The vast majority of our everyday runners will be definitely taking in that incredible view as they see the iconic statue, and then the ocean. I mean, there's something calming. If you're having a moment when you're climbing this hill, you know what? Look to the ocean. It might calm you down a little bit. I don't think these guys need to hear us say that, though. They're pretty locked in.
Are we surprised there's not more separation here on the men's side 14 minutes in?
I'm just trying to see. I think that's Daniel Abenyo on the far left, and that is not surprising to see that he is actually making a move. He, too, is coming off of the World Cross Country Championship where he won bronze, and he is such a good half marathoner, but hasn't run a half marathon in the last year. So just kind of wondering how he is. His PR is 59:04, which is under the event record, but it was not run here. So he, you know, he's just a talented guy, but the first time here running in New York City, he ran in Chicago. He was 5th in the marathon there in 2024, but just a really strong athlete, a little bit of an older athlete when we're looking at this group right up front here. He's 30 years old, not that old, but he's one of the older guys in the group. And now look at how hard Agnes Negedic is pushing.
The breakaway has happened. The pack has totally separated. Essentially here you've got Agnes and Hellen leading the way together. You can see Hellen pushing there there to catch up onto the heels of Agnes as they come that sweeping route off the Brooklyn Bridge. Sharon has definitely dropped back there, right, with Fantai, and we'll see. We'll see if they can make up that difference for sure, because the FDR is straight, it is long, there's 3 and a bit miles of work to do right here. In reality, that distance is not, now we see it from above, is not that big.
Well, I think that's where, when I was starting to talk about the marathon, having the marathon in your legs and training like that. Hellen Obiri hasn't raced since New York City Marathon, where she set the course record last fall, everybody, and won the dang thing. But she hasn't raced. She has a lot of training in her legs getting ready for London, which is a fast, flat course. But you're seeing Sharon Lokedi. She's still in the picture, but they made a huge move on her. And you can see Agnes Negedic is playing a little bit, like saying, are you going to come up? What do you, what's going on? But
that or she's trying to shake her. One or the other. She's
shake
really
it off,
giving, like, okay, what's going on here, girlie? What's happening? Are we working together, or are we working apart right now? If I was them, I'd want to work together, because this FDR straight can be monotonous, even for the professional runners.
And when you say working together, what do you mean by that?
I mean, Helen might be just going straight behind Agnes just to get in her drift ever so slightly here. It also does, it's a bit of mind games, because if Agnes can't quite see where she is, she's going to constantly be just searching a little bit. It's going to take extra energy. You want to be focused and just running straight forward when you are going for a title or any race. But if Agnes has got a little bit of a distraction in her mind of where is Helen, when is she going to make a break, it could just mess.
I like how Helen looks right now, but I also like how Eden Rainbow Cooper is looking right now. She's all alone, just looks super strong right now.
I think that's the fastest anyone has ever traveled on the FDR.
What? That's amazing.
100, full stop, on any given day. This would be my choice. If I could run on the FDR to get to work most days, I would do this. I mean, you can see that amazing view right now. Obviously, our everyday runners have not taken to the roads just yet, but you can imagine seeing them right behind our 2 professional lead women right there. What an incredible sight that's going to be very, very shortly. But as we're focusing on Eden Rainbow Cooper, she is... we're coming up to like the 23rd Street kind of area. This is testing my New York geography.
I know.
Tourist appreciation Bex over here is failing here. But we are definitely going to be seeing them turning off onto 42nd Street in the next mile or so. But again, for the wheelchair races, these roads are a little bit bumpy. So we'll see how she does on the FDR. And here are the men. We've got Patrick and Joe come back in together, teaming back up here.
Yeah, lots. You can see a lot of training partners in there. You can see the purple kits. They are out of North Carolina with the Puma Elite team, and I mean, every single one of them's in this top pack. And I'm not surprised to see Patrick Dever up there, Alex Mayer. There's a number of athletes that have an opportunity to be up here racing, but it doesn't look as if they're really pressing right now. You can see everyone bunching together, really kind of relaxing a little bit,
absolutely.
Ryan. There's what, 20 people in this front pack, and actually I think this is playing into the likes of Grant Fisher right now. I mean, he is ready to roll. He's ready to run fast, but when he can use a tactical race, that is going, or if he can be in a tactical race, that is going to play into his track tactics, right? I mean, he is able to sit and kick and push and do all the things on the track. That's what they're doing right now. They're letting him in.
How are you preparing for your first road race after all that success on the track? I mean, is it just a matter of talking to people, getting advice?
I mean, yeah, I'm sure he's been watching the races. He's a student of the sport. He loves it, even though we all need to learn from him. He studies it daily. He and his coach have been talking about how to run on the streets here, and yeah, just great stories. We'll get more into Grant here, but as we're watching there, we're seeing the American women. That definitely is another Minnesotan. You've talked about Joe Reichow on the men's side. We're seeing Annie Frisbee there. She is one of the top finishers. Both of these two came to the New York City Marathon last year.
Annie had an astonishing performance last year. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, for sure.
You're always a little partial to the Minnesotans.
I know. I'm sorry, everybody. I totally am. But yeah, Amanda Vestry is the one in the lead here. She came and ran debut American marathon record here, 2:25:40. She placed 9th at the New York City Marathon. She's excited to race again. She hasn't raced a lot since she ran the Houston half just in January, but she said she's been training really well and she's getting ready for Boston.
And you can see chasing the tail there, we've got all of the other Americans. Emily Sisson, hot behind them, Susanna Sullivan. But right now, we are just watching the games continue along the FDR with Agnes Ngechi and Hellen Obiri.
And now they're working together, as you said.
They are. You know what, it's just surreal to see the cars on the other side as well. This is really like, I'm like, if I was Grant Fisher, I'd be like, yo, this is really like road racing.
Yeah, that's the moment where you say, this is real, I'm on the course.
This is real, it truly is.
You know, Agnes Ngechi, she won the World Cross Country Championships, the 10K by 42 seconds in Tallahassee back in January. So yeah, she's used to leading the way, only this time maybe by less than a second.
She really is used to leading the way. We've watched her race on the track time and time again. She's not afraid of chasing a clock. She's not afraid of chasing anybody, but she likes to be up front. So I'm not surprised to see her up here. And she's got the second fastest time ever by anyone over this distance. So she's run 63 minutes. So it's pretty awesome that she's out here racing in New York, and we're seeing history in the making right here.
Hellen Obiri, of course, used to the streets of New York. She's our reigning TCS New York City Marathon champion, so she has that going in her favor here today. We're getting ready to join our team at ABC here in New York. Perry and Tony, good morning. A live look at all 4 professional races going on here on this 13.1 mile course on the streets of New York City. And Bex and Carrie are here with me as well. And ladies, what's jumped out to you thus far here in this race this morning?
I'm really seeing the men's pack having a little breakaway here for a moment. We have Zouhir just pushing it on that uphill. Again, he knows this course very well. He has been incredibly successful over his times running at this course. And I feel like his confidence in taking on the hills has really shown up here. So look at him go, leading the way.
Everyone working their way to the finish line here in Central Park, and that is where our Sam Ryan is standing by live. Hi, Sam.
Hey, Ryan, along with CEO of New York Road Runners, Rob Simmelcare. We talked about the finish line and 30,000 runners expected to cross it today, which would be a record. You said a record number of runners entered the drawing. What does this say about running, and how exciting is this for you?
Sam, we've just been seeing this incredible growth in the popularity of running now for several years since the pandemic. You know, just about every race has been sold out at New York Road Runners since I joined here 3 years ago. We had a record number of applications to the TCS New York City Marathon for this November, over 240,000 applications, huge numbers interested in this race as well. And so it's a great trend. I mean, this is our mission at New York Road Runners, to create healthier lives and stronger communities through the transformative power of running. And it just seems like more and more people are catching on to that transformative power of running, and people realize the kinds of positive differences it makes in their lives. I know you're somebody who recognizes that and has experienced that, and now you got colleagues like Liz Cho who are experiencing it as well. So we're just thrilled to see it.
Liz Cho and Mike Mars are running that. You told me 60% of the runners here today are running this race for the first time. Also an impressive pro field. What are you most excited about today?
I'm just excited for all those first timers. You know, I think I always get most excited for the people who are taking this challenge on for the first time. A lot of them probably a year or two ago never thought they could run 13.1 miles, and something convinced them to give this a try, to make the commitment, to sign up, to put in the months of training and the early mornings, the late nights, whatever it was for them. And I just love it right here. This is my favorite place. Every single time we have a race is this finish line, because you see the emotions and what it means to people.
Awesome. Thank you, Rob. Thank you so much. On perfect weather today, too. We're going to send it over to my colleague now, Brittany Bell. She's in Times Square.
Hey, Sam, so we're at Times Square, and the kids' run is underway. So the wheelchair athletes just finished. You can see they're taking their picture. They had their medals. You guys did such a great job. But speaking of the kids' run, I want to bring in Liv Kaki. You're 13 years old, and you've done this race three times, right? Yes, so what is your third year? What is your favorite part about the kids' run?
My favorite part is how you get to run in Times Square and it's completely closed off and there's so many people cheering and it's just an incredible race and there's incredible energy to it as well.
And you play an important role because you are an ambassador, youth ambassador for the rising New York road runners. Why was it important to you to take on this role and to inspire other kids to be active?
A youth ambassador is someone who we learn communication skills and then we do it and we give out back to the people. So I have always loved being a leader and speaking, and I feel like it's a really fun way to do it including running, and running is my favorite thing. And then you include other kids to do running, and it's just I feel like it's just something that makes you feel bigger than yourself.
And quickly, what is one piece of advice that you would give to kids who are new to running and who want to start to get more active?
Always keep coming back because it'll get hard, but it's always so great when you finish, and the more you do it, the easier it gets, and it's one of the most incredible feelings ever.
All right, thank you so much. Have a great race, and let's send it over to Ryan.
All right, thank you, Brittany. The Times Square Kids Run, one of 20 free youth events put on by the Roadrunners throughout the year, serving more than 200,000 students, I should say, nationwide, including 100,000 here in New York City. Daniel Romanchuk working his way to the finish line here in Central Park. We'll have that for you in just a few. In the meantime, Perry and Tony, we'll send it back to you in the studio. No competitive racing for Daniel Romanchuk in almost 7 months, but you'd never know it here today, ladies.
Absolutely not. It looks like he never left.
He is just so cool and composed every time he gets out here. He studies those courses. He knows exactly what he needs to do. But, sometimes having a little bit of a break or just a move away from the normal training gets you so hungry to come back out and race. We know that he loves to win here, and he's getting close.
He is literally around the corner from us right now, coming down the finishing straight any second to complete his 2026 United Airlines NYC half race. I'm sure we are going to see one heck of a big smile on his face as he comes over the line today, just knowing that that recovery and that work has been really, really paid off.
The first finish of the day here at the United Airlines NYC half. A guy who's used to winning here on the streets of New York, Daniel Romanchuk, has won once again. There he is, your United Airlines NYC half champion, Daniel Romanchuk.
Third time winning here, Ryan. He's also been on the podium 5 other times. Wow. So, I mean...
Again, the knowledge.
Yeah, he knows exactly what he's doing, but he's just, like I said at the top of the show, so kind, so humble. He's going to be thrilled to be back, and, he's been through lots of ups and downs. He had quite a few blood clots, and then he went through some injuries, as we talked about. So,
and he was questioning his fitness level coming into today, and here he is.
And here he
winning by a lot. He knew he was ready. He knew he was ready.
This is going to mean the world.
Draped by the red, white, and blue, a wonderful scene here in Central Park. Daniel Romanchuk celebrating another win here in New York. Back to the professional women.
It is heating up in every single way, Ryan. Okay, are you ready for these times, these stats? Carrie and I nearly just fell off our chairs. The professional women's 10K split, they came through at an average of 4:57 per mile. That is equating to 30 minutes and 46 seconds. Carrie,
for the 10K,
the 10K record is 32:13.
Well, when
Sharon Lacady came through
last year, they came through in 32:13 and then really closed hard. And this year they are well under the event record. But there's a lot of time still to play a little bit. And these two have definitely built up a lead, and they're looking good. But now it's where we're seeing Hellen Obiri touch the front a little bit. She's been wanting to be behind, and Agnes has kept this pace going. But now it's where I think maybe that marathon training gave her a little bit of sluggishness in the beginning. She hasn't raced since the New York City Marathon last fall, so now she might be finding her stride. And on the men's side, totally different. We still have a huge group, but we've seen Patrick Kiprop pretty much been up front the entire way, leading this race.
Yep, he is looking really, really strong. There's definitely been a few changing of the guards, so to speak, at the front over the last half a mile to a mile or so here. We've seen Patrick Deva coming through third. We had the American Alex Mayer. Then, hold on.
Wait a minute.
Hold on a minute.
We zoomed out, and now we see what's going here.
Okay, this makes a lot more sense. Patrick Kiprop is not. So he is in third. Are we looking at Patrick Kiprop in third? And we are looking at Lynch in second. Peter Lynch in second.
This is
right
interesting
there.
news,
And then
everybody.
does that mean if we pan out even more, we're seeing Zouhir in first?
No, I think I saw Zouhir in the back there, but Patrick Lynch, Peter Lynch, excuse me. There's a lot of Patricks out here. Peter Lynch, I just spoke to his coach last night, Alistair Craig, and he said, watch for Peter Lynch. He was sick at Houston, did not have quite the block that he wanted going into Houston, but he's back. That whole team had a little bit of an illness earlier this year, and now all 4 of those training partners are together. So Peter Lynch looking really good right now. Yeah, I mean, exciting to see.
There we have it. They have Zouhir Talbi right there, right on the heels still of Patrick Kiprop. Looking so good.
Yeah.
Still working together. They've done the hills.
Peter Lynch is from Ireland. He's got the PR of 101.15 from last year in Houston. Houston is a very flat, fast course, but he ran the world champs in September in Tokyo on the track, or excuse me, on the roads. He was 24th in the marathon, so he's definitely coming down here in distance, but definitely ready to roll, is what his coach said.
Yeah. Also, not afraid of the weather if he's Irish. This is summer.
Yeah.
The professional women and men making their way here to Central Park. That is where our wheelchair champion, Daniel Romanchuk, is joined by Sam Ryan. Sam.
Hey, thanks so much. And Daniel, you said coming into this, you didn't know what to expect. It's been about 6.5 months. What surprised you the most? What impressed you the most today?
It's a beautiful, beautiful morning out, and I really wasn't sure 6 or so months ago whether I would ever be back on a start line at all, to kind of be able to get back out on the start line and race again is just an amazing feeling.
And crossing the finish line here in Central Park once again, how do you sum up the emotion right now?
That's a really tough one. Thankful to God for the opportunity to race again.
And you are the champ today, 6.5 months. Going through the training to get back here, you talked about training on the rollers indoors, not being out there on the road until you trained in Florida, but you were alone. But the competition now, being out there with the competition, what was that like for you, just bringing it all back?
Really just an amazing experience to be able to line up with all the other racers. It's really just an incredible experience.
And your sister and brother-in-law, and they're here today too, right?
Yep, they're going to be starting not too long from now, so hopefully see them here at the finish. Yep.
Daniel, welcome back. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
Daniel Romanchuk, his 3rd win here in New York. And the women's wheelchair race about to come to a finish as well here in Central Park.
Well, Eden Rainbow Cooper is doing it. She is not one that we see break the tape a ton, but it's just been a matter of time.
It really has.
She's been 2nd, 3rd, 4th. She, has come here and raced in 2024, but she won that Boston Marathon in 2024 as well. And I think a lot of people think that this is the next up-and-comer, and it's been really fun to watch her sort of flourish into this awesome athlete.
As you say, Carrie, as well, she is so young. She has so many years of racing ahead of her with all of this incredible experience and knowledge that she is applying to her training and her racing. As she comes into the finish line, she is well within the last kilometer of her 13.1 mile race today. And I think, again, we are going to see another huge smile from them coming over the finish line.
And we're watching Eden come in, but on the right side of the screen, there's definitely big stuff happening. We only see Hellen Obiri in the shot right now, so we're trying to get word on what's going on with Agnes Degetich, but it looks like Hellen Obiri definitely is making that move to get a big push and get quite a bit of a lead.
She absolutely is running totally solo right now. as Carrie said, trying to figure out what happened to Agnes. Do we think the cold? Do we think just pace?
We said that might be a factor, the cold weather for her.
I think when you come from a little bit of a warmer climate and you come here, it is very cold in New York right now. I was concerned when I didn't see any hand warming or arm warmers on her, that she's still new to half marathon distance. So we're seeing, though, I mean, obviously Hellen Obiri is one of the best ever, so not surprised to see her in the lead.
Yeah, and obviously we don't want to speculate what happened with Agnes.
Yeah.
But Hellen Obiri very much in a comfortable lead in the women's professional race. You talked about Peter Lynch being from Ireland, being used to this weather. Eden Rainbow Cooper, the pride of Scotland, also feeling right at home here in these chilly temps this morning as she makes her way to the finish line.
She is a mere few moments away from crossing the line, right with us here at the finish line.
Well, Ryan, she was second at Sydney, third in Berlin, fourth in London, fourth in Chicago, fourth in Boston, seventh in New York in 2025. This woman is getting ready to win.
How does first in New York sound?
So cool, exactly. Bring her in. This is going to be so fun for her, and you know she's going to be running now Boston in a few weeks here. So this is going to give her such a big confidence, boost going into it.
Absolutely.
And can we give a little shout out to Susanna Scaroni, who isn't here? We always see her, but she's having a baby.
Congratulations to Susanna. We miss her greatly, but obviously a very good excuse why she is not out here running today. But Eden Rainbow Cooper sure is, and she is the winner of the 2026 United Airlines NYC half. What a moment as she breaks the tape here in Central Park.
Oh, deep breath there. But she did it.
She did it. She got it. She got that first place. So well deserved.
Every single win, though, just gives you so much fuel for the fire, right? I mean, going into races, but even getting back into training. I mean, knowing that she has won this race, which is such a huge race to have on her resume. Bravo, way to go, Eden.
One of the great names in sports, Eden Rainbow Cooper. Showing off the colors of Great Britain, the pride of Scotland.
I'm very happy to see that flag.
I bet you are.
Celebrating here in Central Park. What a great scene. And now back to the moment we were just talking about. Hellen Obiri now very much in front. She was neck and neck with Agnes Negedic just moments ago. And let's take a look at what happened here, ladies, as this unfolded. Agnes on the right, Hellen on the left.
Yeah, Agnes just, looks good. I mean, she doesn't look like she's suffering at all, but just been waiting to watch. I asked Hellen Obiri's coaches, I said, how's she doing? Look at this. She just breaks away. She's pulling away, and they said she's like a caged animal when she doesn't get to race, and she hasn't raced since November. So just waiting for her move, and look at that
But that was very abrupt there.
That was very abrupt. She just did a little teeny tiny check over her left shoulder to make sure that Agnes wasn't chasing her down. And I'm sure by now, that was over a couple of minutes ago. She now feels very comfortable in her stride, running there solo. She is not unknown to run solo like this. She trains in packs, but when it comes to racing, her level of running does leave her in this solo running stance quite often. And it can play with the mind of some runners, but I feel like Hellen really does just settle in to her own footsteps and gets the job done.
She's opened up a 30-second lead. And Beck, you talk about the shoulders. She has kind of like that distinctive running posture, the high shoulders, almost punching in the air. But it's effective. She won the TCS New York City Marathon twice, 2023, and of course, she is our reigning champ from last fall. Very comfortable here on the streets of New York, and it's showing here today in the United Airlines NYC half.
What I like about Hellen Obiri and her coaches, Laura Thweet is one of her coaches, Dathan Ritzheim, everybody knows those names in distance running, but they are really trying to get the zip back into Hellen's legs. In the last couple of years, she came here and won the New York Mini.
Oh, she's zipping all right.
I know. She went to Peachtree and won that 10K. Like, she's not just running marathons and half marathons. She's not going to the track anymore, which we miss seeing her on the track. She was so good. She won multiple medals at the Olympics and World Championships there on the track. But I like that they are dropping down in distance, getting her fire back in different ways of competition. She's been running a lot of 26.2 mile races, and she's still so good over the shorter events. This is maybe her sweet spot of distance in the half marathon.
Well, don't forget, she set the event record at the TCS New York City Marathon
Yes.
back in November. Will she set the half marathon record here today? What a feat that would be.
107.04 is that event record that Sharon Lokedi set last year.
They're on it. She's on pace for it. She's
I
on
know.
pace. All right, let's have a look at the men's professional race right here. Again, we've had a change at the front of the pack one more time. I wonder how many more times we'll see that today. Probably a few. But now we have a Zouhir coming in a decent few meters ahead of the main pack there. Keeping our eyes out for Grant Fisher. Carrie, your eyes better than mine.
He's actually off the back of the pack, but his eyes on everybody. He's right there. He's following the moves. And, you know, we don't have a close-up to see how his face looks, but I think he looks great. He's just kind of doing what he said coming in. He is just going to let this race come to him and really race the final stages of it. So still really just a packed up there.
Yeah.
Adriaan Wildschutt there on the far left. This is an interesting athlete. I really like him. He has done so well on the track, but he also is so good on the roads as well. He trains out in Flagstaff, and he's from South Africa. He's just been awesome to watch. He's coming from running a 10K in South Africa, so he too has dropped down in distance, gotten his legs going a little bit. I like to see that when you come into a half marathon, but he ran the World Cross Country Championships where he was 13th. So lots of talent in this field, so many names, but there we can see Grant Fisher. And he is off the back of the pack, still watching what's going up front.
A pack of 16 men leading the way at the professional side. And here's Agnes Negedic, who has fallen more than 30 seconds behind the leader, Hellen Obiri. And as we said, ladies, she's now in 5th place.
Wow.
A very abrupt drop-off for someone we were keeping an eye on here today.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we're human, right? Every single one of us has days where we go for it and it just doesn't happen. Or maybe she is a bit cold, or maybe something's going wrong within her body, but she is a star. She's the second fastest half marathoner of all time. So we're happy to see her here, because maybe eventually we'll get to see her over 26.2 here in New York as well.
That is the hope. So we're 42 minutes into this with a group of 16 men. How unusual is that here at this juncture of the race?
I mean, this is different. Last year we had a group of about 3 athletes at this moment, and so they really broke it up last year. This year we have, what, I don't know, 15 guys or 10 guys up in the front here, and it's anyone's day. I mean, really, there's so many people. We're looking at
Suki Kawata there, really pushing it though with Patrick Deva, Kiprop. This is a really, really strong-looking group.
Well, speaking of strong, Eden Rainbow Cooper was just that and then some today, as she wins her first ever United Airlines NYC half, and she is here at the finish line in Central Park with our Sam Ryan. Sam.
What a strong 2026 for Eden Rainbow Cooper. A 2nd place finish in Tokyo. Now a 1st place finish here in New York at the United Airlines NYC half. The giant smile on your face. How do you sum up what it's like to win here in New York?
It's amazing for me. It's a really good indication that my training's been going well. I've been here before, and it's no secret I struggle uphill. So to come here and to win, and to sort of be gone from the start, I'm just so happy. Yeah.
We talked about this strong 2026 for you. What is the biggest difference thus far?
I changed my attitude last year. To be honest, I got fed up with coming 4th. You know, I wanted to be on the podium and pushing the limits, and I spent the whole winter changing the way that I look at races. And, you know, coming in now, it's big for me that I'm willing to put it all on the line, and if I die at the end, I die at the end. But yeah, it's the way to learn.
Putting it all on the line, and you said 2026, okay, the 2nd place finish in Tokyo. You said you learned from that you surprised yourself a bit too. What do you take from these 2 races into Boston now?
I think it's to really get on the start line and know I'm a contender. Like say, my attitude has changed. It's really the first year I feel that I'm on the start line and I can really push for a win. So, you know, going into Boston and London, that's all I want to do. I just want to carry my momentum in and give it my all and just see what's possible.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Back to you guys.
I think I saw a couple of fist bumps here from you ladies when she said I needed to change my attitude.
Yes.
No more 4th place finishes. We're only here to win.
I love that.
Really understanding that she is on a mission to take that 1st place, and it's paid off. And believing in herself, I'm sure, came into play there with changing that attitude.
Mission accomplished here today. Hellen Obiri, now we don't even see anyone behind her.
Is there
That's
anyone
how
else
big of a
running?
lead that she's opened up.
Yeah.
And it looks even more so when she's running through an empty Times Square. Just a remarkable scene here this morning in New York.
Well, this is a different spring that she's going into. Normally we see Sharon Lokedi and Hellen Obiri run all of their races together. They've been at New York, they've been at Boston. They've done that kind of circuit the last few years. And this year, Hellen Obiri's getting ready for London. So she's got about 6 weeks of training left. And as I said, I spoke with her coaches and they just think that she's in a really good spot. And every year they say that. She just keeps getting better and better.
Getting better.
I love it. You know, she's 36 years old too. She's been around for a long time, but the thing that is with Hellen is that she loves to race and she loves the competition. So kind of fun to see them together, she and Agnes in the early stages, and then just to see her pull away so quickly was pretty much a Hellen Obiri move.
A stark contrast from the women to the men's side as we've got a group now, probably about 10, 12 guys here leading the pack at the near 46-minute mark.
See our Irish representation here with Peter Lynch coming, breaking away ever so slightly, just as we came onto shot there. Taking the lead once again on the pack. It almost looks as though there was a little change in rhythm there. The energy of the pack went with him, I would say, there as Lynch took the lead. But you saw the uptick in Patrick Kiprop's legs, and looking at who is with it there, Patrick Dever. The Patricks are running together. There we go.
Yeah. Well, Peter Lynch and Patrick Dever trained together, obviously. I asked Patrick Dever, you know, how was it last year when he ran here? He really loved running in New York. I think it gave him a new sense of urgency to get back out here and do it again. I mean, he is such a good runner. He trains with Alex Mayer. He trains with Peter Lynch. He's got a number of people in this field, but he was 4th here last year. So when you're 4th, you know, you're kind of like just taste the front and you want it so bad. And that's exactly what the man in 2nd was thinking. Zouhir Talbi, as we talked about, he was 2nd here 2 years ago.
Yep.
You see Grand Central Terminal there in the background to give you an idea where they are on the course as they make their way to the finish line here in Central Park.
So I'm not seeing Grant Fisher up there anymore in that top. He's still off the back of the second pack. You know what's interesting about him? A lot of talk and chatter about him coming into race this first half marathon. But he said he was trying to get an idea. Is this the time for him to start transitioning to the roads, or is it okay to stick to the track until the 2028 Olympic Games? And so, not to say he's not having a good day, he's having a fine day. But this will give him something to go home to and think about. And so he wasn't putting a ton of pressure on himself. I mean, I'm sure he was putting some pressure on himself, but he said, I'm really learning today.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I think a lot of people are wondering if he's going to be the one to win. Well, we don't know that, but he's taking a lot away from this race.
He absolutely is. And was very strategic, as he said, about putting this in between races so he really could learn and garner anything he can from it. He was training in Park City, I believe, to get some experience, like a slightly different experience.
Went to Flagstaff as well,
To Flagstaff as well. Great. So he's had that experience of the hills and the different to just running inside.
And all alone.
All alone at the 1 hour mark right here. She has the park in her sights.
She knows this area, doesn't she?
She knows it. She knows this so
Feeling
well.
right at home.
Yep. She could run this with her eyes closed, I'm sure, and absolutely just know every single corner, every bend of Central Park, no matter what direction she has to run it in. So as she enters into the park here, I mean, I'm sure she's feeling it. It's in the bag for her. She knows right now. So
I was just about to ask, do you think she knows how big of a lead that she has?
From watching Hellen, she does tend to look over her shoulder quite often. She likes to know where her competitors are at. She likes to know where she is at. And I think right now she's going to have that confidence. But again, is she looking at her watch, Carrie? Is she thinking in her head, I can get an event record? You know, do these things come into play once you are in this zone by yourself as a professional runner?
I think Hellen Obiri is just one that pushes. They actually have to kind of hold her back, I think, sometimes in her workouts and things, because she just is such a grinder. But right now, she knows she's all alone, and she's just trying to get to that finish line as fast as she can. And as we're seeing on the right side, a new leader there, that's Adriaan Wildschutt. I'd like to say his name.
You say it very well.
Rolled right off the tongue. We should point out.
But yeah, he trains under Jack Mulvaney in Flagstaff, as I said, and this is not a surprise to see this guy. He's a world and Olympic finalist. He's on the track a lot. He can run everything from the 3,000 meters all the way up to the half marathon. He set all the South African records.
Yeah,
but
all-rounder.
Yeah.
And he's from Russia, so he's used to running in these type of temperatures.
Yeah, exactly. He's writing an autobiography. It's going to come out in the late spring, so he's got so much fun stuff. I don't know. I just really have I like watching him race.
I believe that's the Republic of South Africa, not Russia.
Yeah,
RSA.
he's South African for sure. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that, but yes.
How did I misread that
That's
acronym?
okay.
That's quite all right.
But no, he's been over there. Actually, he was going to try to be the first man to run under 27 minutes for a 10K on the roads. He ended up not. It was super windy, but he is very fit, he says. And, you know, he's just someone. He's got a sub 13-minute 5K. I know some of you are into those track times, but he's a 12:55 guy. He's run under 27 minutes on the track for 10,000. So good. But he's transitioning to the roads, and I think we're going to see him. Yep, we're going to see him here for a while.
I'm ready to pre-order that book already. I want to know more about this guy.
His brother trains with him. He's also an elite athlete. They just have a really cool family dynamic, and yeah, not surprising to see him race and win, or in race to win this race.
Race to win. And here he is. There we go. We have eyes on Grant Fisher coming through the wonderful Times Square, taking it all in. I wonder whether he is just taking it in, that he gets to be here to run this race.
Oh, you have to think he's enjoying a lot of that and being like.
All right,
well, speaking of enjoyment.
Yeah. She's close, everybody.
She
She's
is
close.
so close.
So remember
to us.
that event record, 107.04. We're keeping our eye on it. But now she's working through those little ups and downs of
There's
Central Park and
lots rollers.
Lots of rollers.
0.7 of a mile away, and she has, let's call it 3 minutes to keep a buffer of safety here. Do we think she's going to stay on? She's got 800 meters to go to the finish. I'm going to hazard a guess she might break this event record.
You know, she doesn't run a lot of half marathons, Ryan. She ran her last one in Houston in 2024. She ran 66.07 there. So, you know, it's interesting. I think this might be her distance, but she doesn't run a lot of them. I mean, she runs a lot and gets paid very well to run the marathons. So she does kind of, you know, strategize around that. But as I said, we've seen her now run some of the 10Ks on the road. So she still has a lot of fast twitch. She can still really go fast. So what does that strength and speed do for her? And that's what I feel like this is the perfect combo.
Well, when you go from 26.2 to 13.1, it almost feels like a breeze at that point. 13. She's just getting warmed up at 13 miles. She set the course record at the TCS New York City Marathon back in November, the event record, and very much in line to set the record here today, 400 meters away.
Just watching her run this versus the TCS New York City Marathon, her skill set in understanding how to just take this on. As you say, Gary, just everything from 10K to 26.2, this woman can crush it.
Well, she's run 104.22. That was back in 2022. That's her PR, her fastest time over half. That was at the rack half, which is fast, but she is closing in here.
She is.
Can she crack that?
We've got 90 seconds.
She's gonna get it. I'm sorry, she's gonna get it.
She's gonna get it. You know when the police bikes peel off, you know they're really close.
107.04 is the time to break.
It's almost gone quiet at the finish line here because everybody is just waiting. It is so close. It's going to be close, but
well, we all know that everybody knows Hellen Obiri's name.
Here she comes.
And she definitely is in sight. She actually got to sit in the cockpit, as you said, on her way here.
She did.
I mean, everyone celebrates when she comes to New York City.
Maybe she'll fly home. She might
I don't know if she wants to do that. She might want to just have a glass of wine.
Hellen Obiri making her way to the finish line. The course record at the TCS New York City Marathon in November. And now the course record here at the United Airlines NYC half. Hellen Obiri is a winner in New York. Once again, what a masterful performance as she breaks the record by more than 30 seconds today here in New York City. Incredible.
It is just so wonderful. There even was a smile. There's Jack.
Jack Fleming there. Oh, he's ready to see her back in Boston another year, as we said. She's going to London this year. But what an awesome
What a performance.
Yep.
What an athlete. I really do feel you were right, Carrie. She was ready to run. It was as though she had been locked behind a door and it was unlocked today.
I know, exactly.
Hey, Sharon just coming in. Second place for our defending champion, Sharon Lokedi, in a brilliant, brilliant finish. And British.
Another British
Another
woman.
Brit coming in. Absolutely.
Yes,
Megan Keith.
Megan Keith.
Her, yes.
Pride of Edinburgh, Scotland.
Cold weather.
Finishing in third place here today. Ladies catching their breaths as the celebrations are underway here in Central Park.
And we're going to welcome Megan Keith of Great Britain to the women's professional podium as well. And just like that, 3 races, 3 podiums complete. And we will return our attention to the
incredible.
men's division.
Well done. Great job.
All right. Well, Adriaan has taken off his hat, which to me means business.
It's go time.
He definitely has a lead, doesn't he? There's
He
not a lot
does.
around him, and he is pushing hard. He's coming off of running some really, really nice races, as I said, and he's definitely focused. You can tell. He's really into this, and he wants to see what he's made of here.
His focus is now probably on just getting to the finish line again. We'll see. Can we see? Just coming past Felicia Pasadena here. Pride of New York. Big shout outs to her for an incredible performance too. But there's the men's pack just behind them. So 20 kilometers, just about a kilometer to go.
How about one of our American runners today, Emily Sisson, making her way to the finish line here in Central Park.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen her back here at the NYC half. She has multiple Olympic accolades to her name, and today, wonderful to see her taking on this course with grit and grace coming in at that 1:09:07. Brilliant.
The two-time Olympian will be running Boston. Still to come. Hellen Obiri, not even out of breath. 13.1 miles like it was nothing. A new event record by more than 30 seconds. Absolutely incredible. And now, Carrie, back to the guy whose name you love to say.
Yes, I do. Adriaan Wildschutt. And I don't even know
So
if I'm
good.
saying it right.
Well, I think we're going to have to check when he
I
takes
know,
the
we
crown
will
today.
for sure. But he said he's been training back in South Africa for the last few weeks. He's had a couple really key sessions that he's talked a lot about. He said he's in really good shape. But this is sort of a surprise to me, the way that he was able to move away from that pack. We had such great athletes here this year, and for him to be that far out,
just took his check.
This is a big day for him.
We're about to join our coverage at ABC here in New York momentarily. Adriaan Wildschutt making his way to the finish line here in Central Park. Perry and Tony, thanks. We just saw a new course record by Hellen Obiri, our TCS New York City Marathon champion, now the winner of the United Airlines NYC half. And this is a live look at Adriaan Wildschutt, the leader by a long ways here on the professional men's side as he makes his way to the finish line in Central Park. And ladies, you said this is a surprise, seeing him not only in the lead, but by this big of a lead.
I mean, I don't know if I'm surprised to see him being the one that could potentially break this tape, but I do think the way that he pulled away from that caliber of a field was kind of a big surprise for me. But yeah, I mean, watching him race, and he's maybe not going to quite get here in time. He's going to be so close, you guys. 59:09 is the event record by Abel Kipchumba, who's in this race, but I'm not quite sure we're going to see him break the tape. But Adriaan Wildschutt, Olympian, also South African record holder from the 3,000 meters all the way up to the half marathon. Quite the athlete, getting ready to release his first book this spring. So everyone get out there and buy it.
Everyone, and coming in with such a strong finish, hands in the air. He knows that
Adriaan
this is
Wildschutt,
incredible.
the 27-year-old South African is your winner of the United Airlines NYC half.
Oh.
What a race.
And Zouhir Talbi there.
He is going to fight all the way to the finish.
He was second 2 years ago, coming back this year.
Reclaimed. Oh, camaraderie together. Coming in. Oh, look at that. Look how happy and proud.
That's, yep, Coach Jack Mulvaney right there, all the way from Flagstaff.
His little internal yes as he comes up. That was absolutely brilliant. Representing South Africa. Great to see.
First time a South African runner has won this race here at the United Airlines NYC half. 59:30. Adriaan Wildschutt, the pride of Florida State University, the winner here today at the United Airlines NYC half.
It was remiss of us not to mention our third place finisher. There was one of our Indian athletes who I believe is also a very all-round athlete. Has competed in many distances and has taken a lot of those titles.
Zouhir Singh.
Yeah.
And watching Grant Fisher there making his way at his first half marathon ever under 101. You know,
not bad.
Not bad at all.
bad.
And he is such a competitor that you know that he's going to go home and it's going to eat at him a little bit, but he's got to be excited that he's run really well, very fast here.
And you said this was a learning experience for him today. That's only going to benefit him now going forward.
Yeah, he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's going to go home and figure what is the perfect distance and event for him. I mean, wouldn't it be so nice to say, oh, maybe I'll just go back to the track and win more medals on the track?
Not a bad problem to have.
No, two-time bronze medalist from the Paris Olympic Games. He is quite the athlete. His wife, or excuse me, his fiance, almost wife.
Oh, soon-to-be wife. Once she's got her dress from New York.
Yes, she was shopping this weekend, and they had a really fun weekend.
She was incredibly happy that it fell at this time.
I don't know if she did she say yes to the dress?
We don't know.
Okay.
I mean, that is an important question I think Sam should ask
at
the finish line. I think it is really lovely to see how many athletes across multiple distances have come over the line here today very successfully. Just knowing that it's not a one trick.
We're going to hear from Adriaan and Hellen momentarily, plus we're going to have highlights of all 4 of our professional races. But in the meantime, let's send it back to Brittany Bell, who's standing by in Times Square, side of the kids race here today. Brittany.
Hey, Ryan. So we just wrapped up the first wave of the kids race. We're at the start. This is near mile 11 in Times Square. The start of the kids race. They run an easy course. It's just 1 mile. You run one direction and you turn around and come back. And they were so excited to finish this race. And the cool part about it is that they get to run this mile while the professional runners are on the same course. So think about sharing a basketball court or playing a sport with your favorite athlete. The kids get that opportunity to do so. It's about 1,500 kids that participate in this run, ages 2 to 18, and it's just a great experience. And some of these kids are a part of the Rising New York Road Runners program, and that's a program that the aim of that program is to get more kids active, to get them outside, to build confidence. So I want to set the scene too. I believe we actually have some kids coming. So this is another wave. They're about to start. They're going to walk behind me to start their race. This is a mile out and back race. You can see the kids this morning. Okay, this is impromptu. Are you guys ready to run? You're on TV. Are you ready to run? Woo! Come on, we need some energy. Are you guys ready? Oh, okay. All right. Maybe they need some more coffee, but but they're at the starting line right now, getting ready for the race. And you guys ready to run? Can we get some cheers?
Yes.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yes. Are we ready? All right. So that's the goal, is to get a lot of these kids out here to get more active and whatnot. And behind them, you have more of the athletes that are coming in, professional athletes, and the first wave of runners that are sharing the course with the kids who are participating in this. And Times Square is iconic by itself, but this is one of the 2 times that Times Square is close to traffic for the half marathon and for the kids run. So they're going to start pretty soon, and just a great opportunity for them to join and get out here in Times Square, a place where it is closed only 2 times a year to traffic. Back to you guys.
Some 1,500 kids aged 2 to 18 getting to run alongside the pros in Times Square.
So cool.
Very, very cool.
So
How about
sweet.
the big kids today and what they
Oh.
accomplished out here on the course?
I mean, what a day. What a day. I feel like the two races, both the men's and the women's professional races, had some real differentiations in them, and then both wheelchair races, just biggest smiles coming over the finish line. I feel like heartwarming
I
today.
know, it was really great racing. But, you know, give it up to Hellen Obiri. This woman just keeps coming back over and over and over again, set the event record today. But Adriaan Wildschutt on the men's side, I think not a surprise necessarily. On paper, he looked like he could definitely have won, but the way he ran today was so cool and calm and collected, like just a really nice race out of him.
And to your point, how he broke away from the pack, again, rather abruptly and really extended the lead and won this thing going away.
He knew. I think both he and Helen knew in their hearts the minute they broke away, they were like, this is ours for the taking. And then they took it.
Just to see Daniel Romanchek, to hear the emotion, like he
did get choked up talking about it. Yeah.
And then Eden Rainbow Cooper just showing the fire that she has to be
Absolute
one of the
fire.
world's best and really the best today here on the streets of New York.
Let's take a look at the top 3 men's finishers here today. On the professional side, led by Adriaan Wildschutt, who wasn't too far off from the event record, and the American Zouhir Talbi finishing in second. Sam Ryan at the finish line with today's winner.
With Adriaan Wildschutt, your first time running here in New York City, first time in New York. What were your expectations coming in?
The main goal was just to come in and compete and run really hard. Coach told me before last night, he told me, if you want to win the race, you have to have the best last 5K. And once I hit 10 miles, I just wanted to make a big move and see if everybody went. I was able to drop them and just keep on squeezing. So the goal was always to try and win.
I know you told me you were a little concerned about the weather, about the cold. What concerned you the most there?
It was about, I think this morning when we woke up, it was about 32, 33 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about 1-2 degrees Celsius. And I just came from summer, see my family, and did a training camp in Potchefstroom. And it was really hot there, over 30 degrees Celsius, which is about 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So I thought maybe the cold is going to really get to me, but coach made sure that I got all the equipment I need, arm sleeves, gloves, and a hat. And it actually turned out really great, so very grateful. I was happy that the weather didn't bother me too much.
Really great. We saw that finish. Take me through that finish, and what were you thinking as you crossed that finish line?
I was so happy that I was done. This is only my second half and first time in New York, and the goal was just like to run really hard and a good effort. And I was so stoked and happy that I was able to feel really strong towards the end, because I know it's not the best when you come towards the finish line and you are completely like exhausted and spent. So I was very happy that I felt very strong. So I was happy about that.
And a first place finish. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me. Awesome.
Back to you.
Bex, you said when the hat came off, it was go time.
Right.
And you like the advice that his coach gave him about winning the 5K at the
Winning
end.
the 5K, have a strong 5K. He got to the 10-mile marker, and he laid it down. He took that hat off, and he laid it down. His mannerisms, his authenticity to the joy of running just comes through the screen right there. He's put in the hard work. He's worked with his coach to make sure that today was as immaculate as possible for him, and it really did show through. And I think just seeing that smile, that like he knew how great it was, and the fact that he wants to come over the line not feeling spent is brilliant racing.
He acted like he had won this race several times before.
Well,
Very
he probably
calm,
did,
cool.
right? In his head.
In his head,
The way
yeah.
that he visualizes and the way that he races. He's a go-getter and a new name on the road. And,
one to watch.
Only his second half marathon. Awesome.
Well, nothing new for Hellen Obiri, winning and setting records here in New York. A blistering 106.33, a new course record here at the United Airlines NYC half. And she is standing by right now with Sam Ryan. Sam.
Oh, and Ryan, back-to-back event records for Hellen Obiri here in New York City. She did it at the TCS New York City Marathon in November. Now here today, what is it like to cross first in New York City?
For me, New York City has been like a home for me, because winning here last year and winning here this year, event record, of which it's so good to me compared with the weather. The ladies were so strong. So I can say this is an incredible moment for me.
When you entered Central Park and we saw you all alone, and at that point you know you're all alone, what's going through your mind? Take us through that process.
It was so good, you know. in the streets of New York, there were so many people cheering me, shouting, Hellen, Hellen Obiri, you got this, you got this. You know, when you're alone, and the people cheering on you, taking me, pushing towards the Central Park, people were shouting, you got this, you have this, you have this. So I said, like, no need to look back because, like, people are telling me I have this, so I have to keep pushing, keep pushing. So one of the person told me, like, and you are running 66. I said, oh my goodness, 66, I don't know that. So I said, like, let's just try to push. And incredible people made me run so fast.
You talked about running in New York, and you talked about the spectators and people calling your name and giving you that push. What is it like when you hear from them here in New York City?
When you hear fans shouting, to give you that spirit of keep pushing, you know, sometimes you get your legs are tired. But when people are cheering you, you feel like you have something to give out. So that made me feel like I have something special to give out to my people and to make them happy. You know, when somebody's cheering you and you win the race, she cannot just say like, oh, I saw Helen. So many people were taking pictures beside me. So that made me feel like I'm so important to them.
And an event record for you today, Hellen Obiri. Congratulations.
Thank you so much for having me here. Yeah.
Back to you guys.
It's easy to see why she's such a fan favorite. And, you know, just when you think you've accomplished a lot of things in life, Hellen Obiri says, I've set 2 course records in New York in a span of, what, 5 months?
Can you imagine being the fastest person to ever run the NYC half or the marathon?
No.
I mean,
no is the only appropriate response to that.
I can dream. Her love, though, of New York and the support is so true. New York is renowned for being a city that gives back to the runners. And the fact that somebody like Helen just commented on that as she came over with an event record, her second.
No big deal.
It's a testament to the people of this city, shouting her name and making her feel special and really feel strong in giving something to us. And that something was incredible, flawless running over 13.1 miles.
2 event records in a span of 4 months. Absolutely incredible. What a moment for Hellen Obiri. Earlier today, as we are recapping a wonderful day here at the United Airlines NYC half, the men's wheelchair, Daniel Romanchuk, worried about his fitness. No worry, 3-time now champion here at the United Airlines NYC half.
Coming from the rollers indoors, he definitely knew how to race this race, but he didn't know about his fitness specs. It looked pretty good to me.
It looked incredibly good, and I think he could have been more worried about the difference between the Florida heat that he's been training in on the roads to New York, but that didn't even seem to faze him. So I think, you know, underlying with the months since Sydney up until today really did show through.
And Evan Carell's getting second again for the 3rd time in a row. He is a young and upcomer. He is one of the guys that trains with Daniel when he is in Illinois. So yeah, and Yurt Chipper, the guy who was going for the 3-peat, still on the podium.
Still made it, still made it.
How about the women's wheelchair race, where it was all about our favorite friend from Scotland, Eden Rainbow Cooper?
Absolutely was. This year we were missing Manuela Shah, which just made the field open, really, for everybody. And we had a lot of experience here in the women's field. Tatiana McFadden coming close from the start, but not really, in a funny way. Eden Rainbow Cooper just took the lead, and as she said, it came down to a massive change in her self-belief and in her attitude towards doing these races.
Yeah, and a shout out to Shauna Boquette, another up-and-comer. But Eden Rainbow Cooper, I love how she said she went home after 2025, a very, very good 2025, and said, I need to change something. And she wanted to come here to win and set this 2026 off on the right foot. And here we go.
And she did by nearly 6 seconds over, or 6 minutes, I should say, over Tatiana McFadden. How about the professional men's, ladies?
Ooh, so many athletes. It was such a stellar field. A lot of eyes on Grant Fisher from America, seeing how he could run his debut. But watching Adriaan Wildschutt there and Zouhir Talbi kind of battle it out until we got close to the park when Adriaan just took off and separated himself in running a very nice half marathon.
Yeah, it truly was. It was a really great first half of the race, just watching the pack kind of trade places here and there for that lead. And yeah, as you said, Carrie, it wasn't a shock necessarily to see him, but it was just a shock to have that big of a gap between what looked like a tight pack to start with and ended up being quite a split men's professional field in the end.
The 27-year-old from South Africa, Adriaan Wildschutt, your winner here today by 11 seconds. And we just heard from Hellen Obiri, and she was the star of the show on the women's side.
Yeah, we saw Agnes Negedic take the lead and push really hard, but a little bit of question mark. She didn't have any arm sleeves or anything on her hands, and I was wondering a little bit about the cold, and I can't wait to talk to her to see what happens, because in this moment right here, we see Hellen Obiri just sort of have turbo behind her and take off as we watch Agnes Negedic almost sit back and then slow her way the second half. But Hellen Obiri just knows how to race here, doesn't she?
She does. She knows these streets so well, and it was wonderful to see last year's champion Sharon Lokedi coming in second place shortly after Helen crossed the line, and then a really nice surprise with Megan Keefe from the UK taking home third place. So it really was a different trio than the four that led us through the first 5K of this race.
As we're seeing our top Americans there, Emily Sisson in 6th, Amanda Vestry, who had such a great New York City Marathon, in 7th, Annie Frisbee in 8th, and Susanna Sullivan, the 4th place finisher from the World Championships in the marathon. They are rounding out our top 4 on the American side.
Hellen Obiri breaking the event record by 31 seconds. We talked about ideal conditions for the races today, and we saw a great day of racing.
We really did. I mean, almost 30,000 people out here racing. It was fun to see what happened up front, but we're going to have another couple hours of some fun watching everyone else finish as well.
They absolutely are. As you can see, they are starting to come over the finish line as we are still here. So thousands of more runners to celebrate. I'm sure thousands more PRs, not event records, but personal event records. Let's call it that way for each and every one of our runners today.
It's the largest half marathon in the country, more than 30,000 runners taken to the streets of New York. We had the kids race today. So many exciting things going on here on this Sunday morning in the greatest city in the world. An excellent day of racing here at the United Airlines NYC half. Congratulations once again to our champions, Hellen Obiri of Kenya, Adriaan Wildschutt, the surprise winner from South Africa, the American Daniel Romanchuk breaking the tape, and so too was Great Britain's Eden Rainbow Cooper in the wheelchair races. Athletes from all over the world on the medal podium, making this day so special and fitting for this international race. Of course, many of the 30,000 plus runners still out there making their 13.1 mile trek here to Central Park. Congratulations to everyone, and for Brittany Bell and Sam Ryan and Bex Gentry and Carrie Tullifson and our entire team, I'm Ryan Field. Thanks for being here. Make it a great Sunday, everybody.